Hello everyone, welcome back to the Knit Crochet Read Repeat podcast channel. My name is Kirby. I'm currently coming to you from a sunny Paisley in Scotland, well, it's just a stone's throw away from Glasgow, which is in Scotland. But the weather doesn't know what it wants to do today. We have had a lot of grey clouds, like going to soak you to the bone grey. And then we've had some lovely sunshine. So the weather has no idea what it wants to do today, but the heat wave has passed. Hallelujah. I was not coping very well with the heat. I never do. I am someone that prefers to be cool. I would much rather wrap up than be to a point where you physically can't take more clothes off without being classed as being indecent. And also the UK does not deal well with heat. We do not have air conditioning. We do not have windows with fly screens. Therefore, I'm not opening all the windows to get moths, daddy long legs, flies, bumblebees, wasps, you name it. I don't want that in my house. So, hello first of all. I know it's been a while since I have put a video out. I had bilateral carpal tunnel decompression surgery, which I am still healing from. I have a lovely, very sensitive 1-month-old scar on my right hand, and I actually still have stitches in my left hand, but they thankfully come out tomorrow, and then obviously I have to deal with that. But yes, I have been gone because I did have 2 hand surgeries, and with that there was no crafting, so videos got put on hold. But I decided, out of absolute necessity, that it was time to go through my sock drawer. And with that, I was really curious to see some stats. I'm not normally a stats person or like a numbers person, but I have been quite curious to see. I love knitting socks. I really, really do. I have made so many socks for myself that I have now just started making socks for other people, or at least I was when I was able to knit. I've made socks for my mum. I think I've made a pair for my dad, and I've made a couple of pairs for my friend who also just happens to be my boss. And I'm at the point now where if I make socks, they generally are not for me because I have that many pairs. And this is a couple of figures I'm going to throw out to you at the start. In my sock drawer, on my bed, because they're all here, like I really should have kind of put them like sort of in the frame. Yeah, there we go. And then I've got even more. How did you get it? No, I had them in a... Oh, I can't believe I just done that. I had them in a system. Do you know what? I've just messed it all up for myself. I had them in a layout for keeping, maybe not keeping. I can't believe I just done that. It's been a long day and I didn't get nearly enough sleep. Anyway, on my bed just now, which were previously in my sock drawer, I have 35 pairs of hand knitted socks. That's not even all of my socks. In the office, I did try to grab them, but I actually can't find them. In the office, I have a vacuum seal bag of finished but not woven in socks. There's at least another 20 pairs there. And then downstairs, tucked away in a nice wee place, there is at least 5, if not 6 pairs of socks from my Fantasy Fibres book club last year that I got from For the Love of Yarn. So there's at least... Let's lowball it and say 25 pairs not in my sock drawer, not currently in rotation, 20 of which minimum need their ends woven in. So I have a lot of socks, but this video is mostly about what's in my sock drawer and a few stats related to those, and go through just a couple of them as well. So off the bat, as I've said, I have 35 pairs in my sock drawer currently. Of those 35, 10 pairs do not have their ends woven in. And I've been wearing them. I just tuck them in. Okay, so how many of them are patterned and how many of them are vanilla? I love a good vanilla sock. I really, really do. It is my go-to. It is plain potato chip knitting, as they call it. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to look. It's just something I can do completely mindlessly, whether I'm in the car, in a meeting, on a train. I have once or twice knit in the cinema. I'm not normally a cinema knitter because I was worried about how dark it would be in case I dropped a stitch. But I want to say like 2 Christmases ago I took knitting with me. And then another time after that I took some knitting to the cinema with me. So I think I've only knit in the cinema twice. But out of those 35, only 7 were patterned socks. And I just want to go over 3 pairs because, you know, I've got to boast and give myself that marketing value. So of those 7 patterned pairs, I've got my toe bean socks pattern. This is a pattern I designed myself. And you've got on the right foot, this is the left, on the left foot you have the pattern going down the left hand side of the sock, and then on the right you have the pattern going down the right side of the sock. So again, that is my toe beans, because these look like little pads to me, little toe pads. Then we have the Bonnie Bank socks. This is another one I designed. And then so those 2 were made in commercial yarn, and this yarn is a lot thicker than a lot of commercial socks, and it also felts like crazy. So I don't really recommend this yarn, and I want to say it's like, so that way I can picture the ball band in my head, but can I say it? Because I have some in my stash, not this colour. I have like a really lovely grey colour. If I can get onto my stash when I'm editing, I'll put the name of the sock yarn down here. But it is a slightly thicker sock yarn compared to a lot of other commercial yarns, and it is prone to felting. So don't know how long these will last me. But then last up we have the undercurrent socks, which I designed as well. And this is yarn from Giddy Yarns, who I will link in the description because her sock yarn, lovely. So yeah, I'm just going to give myself a wee pat on the back there. Some self-promotion, we'll put it there. But yes, so only 7 pairs are patterned, and to be honest, the ones that are patterned are pretty much, where's the 7th? There it is. So out of the 7, 6 of them are all my designs, and then I've got one for a designer who unfortunately I did discover recently really goes against all of my political values, and so I'm not even going to talk about their design, which is a shame because I really liked this pattern. And if I knit it again, because the money's already spent, I probably won't promote that pattern at all. It always really sucks when you find someone that just goes so like in the wrong direction. You thought they were okay. Anyway, that is a can of worms I'm not willing to really open up, so if you put it in the comments box, I'm just going to ignore it. Okay, so 7 are patterned, which means 28 are vanilla. And again, I was going to pick them all up, but I have a system and I really screwed myself over. Like really screwed myself over as to what ones I'm actually keeping, binning, and maybe pile. So we are going to go over heels, different types of heels. Now, I am not somebody that has tried a ton of different heels. I've tried the normal heel flap and gusset, fish lips kiss heel, afterthought heel, and short row heel. And I have put together the fish lips kiss heel and a short row heel. They are all put together into one title, one heading. So I have 11 pairs of socks with the heel flap and gusset, which actually surprised me because that's the one that like really works best for me. I do understand why I've got more of the next one though, because I slightly became obsessed with getting the fit like bang on because of the template you use. So you'll not be surprised to hear that the one with the biggest number of heels is the fish lips kiss heel. But again, I've also slotted that in with the short row heel. I can't really tell the difference between those two when they're done and completely out of my brain. But I really like the fish lips kiss heel because you can get some like cardboard or paper, but cardboard is best, and draw around your foot, do the math, work out exactly where you should start inserting your heel. And because of that, sometimes you get such great fitting heels. But I just wish there was something at the back of the foot above. So where do I have, where's a pair of fish lips kiss heel? That's going to be, actually these are too variegated. What about this one? Nope. I need a really good example. No, that's... I literally had them all laid out earlier in piles so that I could count. And now I'm really struggling to find one. That's afterthought. That's too variegated. Are you a fish lips kiss heel? Yes, you are a fish lips kiss heel. So in this one, this is a really good example because where that white stops is where the fish lips kiss heel ends. And then when I'm working the fish lips kiss heel, I always do toe up. So where that white ends is the end of the heel, pretty much. Maybe 1 or 2 rows additional. And I just wish there was something more here. And yes, I could put in like a faux heel flap. I just haven't figured out, or just haven't done it yet, to be perfectly honest. But yes, I just went through a phase where all my socks had a fish lips kiss heel, and socks I made other people had fish lips kiss heels because I made my mum stand on some cardboard, I made my friend stand on cardboard, drew around their foot. They were like, really? You need to touch my feet? And I'm like, I'm not touching, I'm drawing around. There's a big difference because feet are weird. But yeah, so 11 heel flap and gussets, 13 fish lip kiss heels, and then my next one that I went through a bit of a phase with was the afterthought heel. And the afterthought heel, I had a perfect one there. Where is it? That one. This one has a faux heel flap in it. I've just realised I put a faux heel flap in this one. And I've done a partridge heel. And yes, I am picking off baubles on the yarn because these are an old pair of socks. These are very bobbly and I do not have a gleaner. I tried to get one when I was in America, but I literally got to a store where they sold the last one like an hour before I arrived. But yes, so the afterthought heel, for those that do not know, is you knit a tube and then eventually you go back and you cut I just cut like half a leg of a stitch, and then, well, first of all, I would go in and I'd pick up my stitches on the row above and the row below, snip half a stitch, and then unpick on only half your sock. You obviously don't want to decapitate your sock. And then you would either go in with the yarn you were using for your sock tube, or in this case a contrasting colour. You would then do, for me it was a short row heel. Maybe I should have put afterthought heel and short row together, because it is a short row heel. And then you would put your heel in, and then, as I said, I put in, can't really see it because again these are well worn, but I put in a faux heel flap here. Wonder why I done it with those ones and nothing else. Interesting. So yeah, 11 heel flapping gussets, 13 fish lips kiss heels or possibly short row heels, and then 11 afterthought heels. And again, I just kind of go through phases as to what works best for me. A fish lips kiss heel is good if I have my template to hand, but not everyone likes a fish lips kiss heel, and sometimes I just need that extra support of a heel flapping gusset. And then again, I do like an afterthought heel, especially if I'm working with like a self-striping yarn. And let's face it, actually I probably should have done this as a stat to see how many self-striping yarns I have. It's quite a few, and again I've just totally messed up my piles. Oh, can't believe I'm forgetting already about my own piles. So yeah, I have a lot that are self-striping yarns, and heel flat, the afterthought heel is really good for that, because you can keep the flow of the stripes going instead of having to do your heel flap, which would break up the stripes on the front, then the gusset, and then once you pick up, your stripes would get even thinner and then go back to the normal size. So everyone has their own preference, but this year I would like to try the vanilla is the new black. Is that the right heel? I have it in my queue. I have it in my library. I just haven't tried it yet. So yeah, that's, let's call it 4 different heels. Excuse me. I don't know if you would class the afterthought heel and the short row heel as the same thing, because it kind of is. You're just doing it differently. You're cutting into your yarn, you're cutting into your knitted fabric, and then adding new yarn. I don't know, I'm overthinking this. Okay, so another stat I thought was really interesting was my oldest pairs of socks to my somewhat newest pairs of socks. So I started a sock this year and I really haven't got very far on it, and they're for my mum, and they might get finished for the end of the year. That's optimistic for me right now, given my hands. So my oldest pair of socks, I can't believe I still own these, and I can't believe I still have ends are not woven in. I think I started these in 2014, but I finished them, well, 2014 if you want to be really weird about it, but I finished them in 2015. So these are, I think it was May as well. I think it was May that I posted the photo. So these are 11 years old. That's crazy, and I still have them. They're too big for me. Like, they've completely stretched out. They were the first pair I done, so I think I made these on maybe like a 3mm needle, and I think I'd done them like the usual 64 stitches, so they were too big for me from the beginning. But I feel really proud of these. Like the heel flap is completely felted, like absolutely completely felted. But I still wear these from time to time, but these are a one and done pair because they're already so stretched out. But yeah, finished these in 2015, 2015, however you say it, however you choose to say it. And I did match, like these are matchy. You can see the lines line up. And then the newest pair, now I think I made another pair after these, but these are the ones that are in my rotation at the moment. So the newest pair that is in my rotation are these beauties. This is yarn from For the Love of Yarn, who are based in Glasgow. This was part of the Fantasy Fibers yarn box, yarn subscription. And this is the Sanderson Sisters colorway, and I love these socks. And these were getting worn quite a bit. They're not now because of the temperature, but these are my newest socks. So I think I got these finished, I want to say 2025. Could have been the start of 2026. Might have been the start of 2026. But anyway, these were either this year or last year. And these are the newest pair that I have. And then just a couple more stats to put your way. I have 7 pairs of shorties, 27 mid-length socks. And the reason there's so many is because I was, question mark, I was a very impatient knitter. I wanted the socks done quicker than I could knit them, and I have a UK size 9 foot. I don't know if I said this in the beginning. If I did, apologies. If not, here's the information. I have a UK size 9, which is an American 10. I forget how your sizing system works. I think your clothes are a size down, but your shoes are a size up. And for the EU, that's a 43. So it's quite a big foot. And sometimes I would just get really, really impatient and I'd finish the socks quicker than I should, like a few rows short. Or I would just make a really short leg and knit the full length for the foot. And so that's what I kind of class as mid-length. And then when I got my Fantasy Fibers Yarn Club, I decided that the socks I make from that were all going to be long leg socks. And so to me, that is a long leg. Whereas, what one are we classing? I'll go with this one. Whereas to me, this is like mid-length. And if I do a comparison between the two, so that's the heel here, they're lined up. You can see there is over a 2-inch difference in the length of the leg. So to me, these are mid-length, and some of them are actually bordering on shorties, but they're still longer than what you would maybe class a shorty. So there's that. Sorry, I was trying to find its pair. So yeah, 7 shorties, 27 mid-length, and 1 long leg. Now again, I have 5 or maybe 6 longer ones downstairs that have yet to hit circulation from the Fantasy Fibers Yarn Club. They probably won't hit rotation until winter because I just think these longer ones are too long for the temperatures that we are having. And then the last stats I'm going to throw at you are what I'm keeping, what I'm maybe going to keep, and what I'm saying goodbye to. And the reason I'm going to be saying goodbye to them is because they are just so well worn, so well loved, that they have felted particularly bad. The yarn has felted even though the socks are good. I bound off too tight, or I was really impatient and they're just not big enough. So out of my 35, I'm keeping for definite 16 pairs of socks. I have 9 in my maybe pile, and I have 10 that I'm going to be saying goodbye to. I could, for some of those 10, I could maybe try and find recipients for them. I cannot pass them on to my mum because I like a very tight sock. I have quite a bit of negative ease in the foot of my sock, and therefore they will not fit her. And I do not think they would fit my friend either. And so I think I'm just going to say goodbye to them. They've had a good life. They can go to their resting place. But yeah, a few of them are also just so beyond being wearable from anyone's point of view that there's no salvaging them. I did think about ripping them out and saving the yarn and reusing it, but some of the yarn is just kind of too fuzzed up. Like it's pilled and I've picked at the pills, and then it's just kind of like the integrity of the yarn just isn't there, so it's not worth the risk. So yeah, that's my socks. That's my sock drawer socks. I still have more that haven't hit rotation yet, and I'm not looking forward to weaving in the ends on those 20 pairs that I have in the office, but it needs done. It really needs done because some of them are really lovely pairs of socks, but right now it's not on the cards. But maybe I'll make it like a bit of a challenge, like weave in 1 pair like every weekend, or 2 pairs every weekend, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, kind of get it done quicker. But yeah, I now have to go figure out my piles again so that I know which ones I'm not keeping. I have a rough idea of those ones, but I think I might get a wee bit more confused. And I tried on every single pair, so I'm a bit annoyed at myself that I've messed this up so badly. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me whilst I took a little step back for my health. I hope to be back with you in a couple of weeks. We'll see. There might be like a book video between now and then with some books I've bought recently and some books I've read recently or listened to. And I might just put up some like random vlogs, maybe. Don't know if anyone would want to see like random life vlogs with no crafting. But yeah, thank you for watching, and until my next video, please do stay safe. Bye.